everyone. Welcome to the Ryan, Coop, and the Doc Show. I'm Ryan Corey here with my buddies, Dr. Ken Snyder, the man, Bruce Cooper. And boy, we got a great show for you coming up. And we're coming to you from the St. Vincent de Paul Food Reclamation Warehouse. This is where all of our food starts to go to 83 food pantries throughout the valley to help folks in need. And I know we're only doing healthy food for people's teeth, right, Doc?
You got it.
That's right.
Now, I know that's really exciting, but I'm so excited about what I see on the gridiron from, of all teams, your Arizona Cardinals. Are you guys as surprised about their start as I am?
Yes and no. I really thought that they were, had a good foundation of a ball club, and I thought they were going to do well. That they were going to beat up on some of the teams that they have so far. I wouldn't have thought that was going to happen.
Yeah, well, leadership's important, right? And we added a couple leaders to this team. Looks like Kyler Murray's taken a step forward in his leadership. And I'm going to be a leader right now. I want you all to sign my petition to rename Los Angeles West Phoenix. We started with the Suns taking down the Lakers, right?
And the Clippers.
And the Clippers, right? And then we went this weekend. ASU takes down UCLA. The Cardinals take down the Rams in their pretty new stadium. West Phoenix coming at you.
Can we get a beat LA?
Beat LA. Beat LA.
I like it. I like it. You know what? It's such a great time of the year, the fall. I mean, now we're going into baseball's World Series. We have football going full bore. I mean, high school, college, and professional ranks. Basketball with our Phoenix Suns getting started again. Hockey with our Coyotes getting started again. Speaking of hockey, you know what? I had an interesting knock on the door, and you know who it was?
Who?
It was the one and only, the captain, the face of the Coyotes, even though he may not be playing any longer, Shane Donn. Check out this interview. Oh, it is such a great, great pleasure to be joined by the greatest Arizona Coyote to ever lace up a pair of skates. Yeah, we're talking about Shane Donn. He had an illustrious career, so many wonderful, wonderful moments. But Shane, I got to ask you this. Your son, Josh, a second-round pick in the organization, where does that rank amongst all your illustrious moments, including the retirement of your jersey?
Oh, man. It's got to be right up at the top. I mean, I think everybody, that's got to be at the top with everything in hockey-wise it is. I'm just so happy for him to get his opportunity. I know how hard he's worked and how much he's dreamed of playing in the NHL. I know how big of a fan he is of the Coyotes as an organization. He loves them so much. And for him to get that, it was such a special moment to know that he kind of had his dream kind of fulfilled with that moment of getting drafted. And now he's on. That's just the first step, but it was so exciting. It was really special.
Now, Shane, he signed with the ASU Sun Devils hockey team, and he had 2 assists in his debut game. In the second game, 2 more assists. I know you're a very, very proud father. Having said all that, what is the game plan with Josh and ASU?
You know what? I think it's been such an incredible, he has a path where he's got a ways to grow. He's got a ways to grow, and he's got to get stronger and faster, and he knows all those things. And ASU's given him a great opportunity to play there. The program's given him an opportunity to play. He got a chance to play on the power play and had some success on the power play in the first game. It's the beginning of a really long process. I think, it's probably at least 2 years at ASU of getting better and getting stronger. And he looks forward to it. Like, he can't wait. And he got to come to development camp, had a blast at development camp, getting to be here it's crazy because he grew up with like Stan and Tony and Jason Rudy and all the people that were here when I was here in the dressing room. And so for him to be, on the other side and being a player with them was a pretty surreal moment. And yet he realizes, man, that's a ways away, and he's got to get back to work and find a way to get better.
Shane, the Coyote season is underway as well. I got to ask you this question. ASU has a home game at 7 o'clock. On the same night, the Coyotes have a home game at 7 o'clock. Shane, where are you going?
Well, I've missed a lot of things with my kids, so there's probably not going to be too many things I miss with my kids anymore. That'll be probably a fairly easy one. It's obviously something that it's so special to have them at home. To be able to work with the Coyotes, though, again, has been something surreal, and I've enjoyed that as well. So maybe I'll sprint to the game after his ends. Maybe that's what I'll do to catch the ending.
All right, Shane. Coyotes' new general manager, Bill Armstrong, a major facelift on that roster. Having said that, what would you say would be realistic expectations for Coyotes fans?
Well, I think obviously we lost some key pieces when you look at Oliver and Connor Garland and Christian Dvorak. I was a huge fan of Christian Dvorak, and our goaltending's all changed, as you and I've talked about, Coop. And so there's going to be some things that are going to be a little bit difficult. And at the same time, there's been a commitment to finding a way to kind of retool this group and retool the draft picks. We were in a position where our draft picks had kind of gotten really thin. And in order to really be an effective and stable organization, you have to be committed to having homegrown talent. And we were stuck in a position where we were running out of picks, and we had to find a way to kind of restock the shelves and at the same time and let some things grow. And we're going to have to do that. We're going to have to focus on that. And it's probably going to be a little bit difficult without the goaltending, without those guys that we lost. But we did bring in some incredible veteran guys that are going to provide some leadership in a room that we really need. And we're going to look for that growth to happen.
Well, Shane, I know that you got this big project coming up in Tempe. Got my fingers crossed for the entire organization. Would love to see the Coyotes back in the East Valley. But, Shane, I want to thank you so much for your time, and good luck to you going forward, my friend.
Well, thank you, Coop. It is always a pleasure. Anytime I get to do anything with you, it just puts a smile on my face. My day's better for the rest of it. So thanks so much. What you're doing, I think, is incredible. St. Vincent de Paul is such a special place, and your willingness to help everybody it's contagious, and you make everyone better when you're around them. So thanks so much, Coop.
Thank you, my friend.
All right.
Wow. I would love to see the Arizona Coyotes back in the East Valley, but his son, Shane Donn's son, Josh, he's got a lot of pressure to live up to.
That's right.
Following in your famous father's footsteps in a sport, that has to be really difficult. Hey, I'm curious, from either one of you, best father-son sports duo is?
Wow, for me, it's the Griffeys.
The Griffeys.
Wow, I think if Ken Jr. Hadn't been sidelined with injuries, he would hold the home run record. I really do believe that.
Ooh, we're in the middle of football season. I gotta go with the Mannings because there was not a father-son, a father-sons, and we may have a grandson here who's one of the top recruits in the country, right? That arch looks good, pretty solid. That's fun.
Hey, you know what? You guys are excellent points you make, but I'm going to stick with hockey. Since Shane plays hockey, there's another guy that played in the Arizona Coyotes organization. His name was Keith Tkachuk. He has two sons, Matthew and Brady, that are playing in the NHL. So, look, we have some Americans that are playing this sport at a high level that we don't have to say they're Canadian or they're Russian or they're Finnish. How about that?
Hey, that's a new thing for hockey, that's for sure. And since all these guys are playing hockey, they've probably been to a lot of dentists, right? A lot of teeth. And we have a way for you to help some folks in our dental clinic coming up after this. All right, well, we told you there would be an opportunity to help a patient. Doc, who do you got? Why don't you tell us?
we got a great guy, just an all-around good guy. His name's Fahim. He was actually sent to us by Delta Dental. They referred him over to the clinic so we could take care of him. This guy is a veteran, and he's one of these guys, he texts me about once a week with some inspirational saying or that, just a really all-around good, caring guy who just didn't have access to dental care throughout his life. When he smiles, his eyes light up, his face lights up, But unfortunately, when you see his teeth, as you can tell by the video or the picture on the screen, we need to give this guy a smile.
So this is what we call our adopt a patient, and there's ways in which we can inform our viewers how they can help finance some of his needs, correct?
Yeah, and speaking of finance, on the outside, and this is being conservative, his total treatment, I mean, dentistry is expensive. His total treatment would probably cost around $32,000. Wow. What would you guess, Coop or Ryan, what would you guess we could do it at our clinic for?
32,000. I think you guys could do it for 3,500.
I'll say 3,200. The price is right?
33 and a half.
Is it really? What is it?
No, it would be right around 32,000. That would
3,200
or 3,200.
So,
I mean, 32,000.
so a tenth of the price.
1/10.
And so all they have to do is log on to the St. Vincent de Paul website and click dental, and it'll take them to just what they need to do to help this young man.
Yeah, we have some wonderful families, some individual donors, some corporate donors, your Little League team or your church group, whoever it might be, to come together and just give Fahim an opportunity to do this. There's not a chance that $32,000 is a doable thing for most people, right? For most people.
And speaking of money, guys, I would certainly hope that the Diamondbacks spend some money this offseason. What I saw from their bullpen and even the starting pitching to a degree was just absolutely hideous. I'm going to ask you, Doc, if you're the general manager of the Arizona Diamondbacks, what's the very first thing you do to fix what ails them? I mean, Doc, 52 wins, 110 losses is embarrassing.
Well, first of all, I'd quit paying huge sums of money to veterans who were probably at the tail end of their career, which seems to be a trend within the organization. The other thing is, I'm a firm believer building from the ground up, and I think it starts in the minor leagues. Years ago, I remember they had the baby backs, and they were going to be the thing, but then they started trading off some of them for veterans and whatnot. But I know in today's model it's a lot different than it was in the old days, but I think you have to be patient and build a good farm system if you want to sustain and rise to the top.
Yeah, but Ryan, fans don't want to sit through another 110 loss season. What do you do if you're GM to turn the fortunes?
We've gone through cycles in baseball in how we hit the ball, right? And we're back with the long ball. And batting averages are down, home runs are up, we're hitting it over guys' heads again. We got to get some guys on this team who can hit some home runs. The batting averages weren't doing it. They weren't there this year. So there's some bats on the market this offseason. I think we can go do that. And bullpen, boy oh boy. When we did have the opportunity to get some good starts out there, Gallen wasn't helped, Bumgarner wasn't helped in those starts, so we got to get a little help in the bullpen. But to what Doc said about building from the ground up, isn't that what the Pirates try and do every year? They're pretty miserable.
But the problem is, once they get 3 feet above the ground, they trade them.
Well, I'll say this. I think that the Diamondbacks can help a lot of their pitching staff by making sure the defense is improved. I can't tell you how many minor league or little league situations out there that the Diamondbacks look like defensively. Have to shore up the middle of that infield. And so what I want to get rid of is positional versatility. Let someone like a Ketel Marte play second base. That's you, second place.
Definitely.
Right. You have Nick Ahmed at shortstop. And I was very impressed with Jake McCarthy, the kid they brought up from the minor league to play center field.
Yeah.
And so if you do that, I think the only two guys that we should think about using the term positional versatility on, Josh Rojas and Dalton Varsho. Maybe even Pavement Smith to a degree, but that's it. I mean, that's where you have to start, I believe.
So let me ask you this then. What do you think is going to be more challenging? Figuring out how to turn the D-backs around or Ryan's riddle? I got a riddle for you, and if you can figure out the answer to the riddle before Coop, we want you to email right here, rcd@svdpaz.org. All right?
All right.
Send in your answers,
All right.
and
let's
we'll
hear this
enter you
riddle.
for a prize. So,
Let's hear
so
this
here we
riddle.
go. What can you hold in your left hand, but not in your right hand?
What kind of sense does that make? What can I hold in my left hand that I can't hold in my right hand?
Which hand do you drink with?
I drink. I'm right-handed, but I'm amphibious. I
can swear to that.
I'm ambidextrous. But I can hold in my left hand. I can't hold it in my right hand. That's
All right.
that's impossible.
Coop.
Wait a second. Wait. No. There can't be a right answer to this.
Coop needs some help. Email the show, or you can send your answer in Doc's mailbag. All right, Doc, it's one of our favorite segments of the show. It's Doc's mailbag.
Yeah, I'm still upset about this thing. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. If I can hold it in my left hand, why couldn't I hold it in my right hand?
Well,
I'm talking about Ryan's riddles. See, this is what aggravates me so much about your riddles.
well, let me tell you what the
I
answer.
got to wait a whole week to find the answer out?
Well, let me tell you what it's not. It's not Doc's mailbag. You can hold that in both hands. Doc, what's in your mailbag today?
Proof positive. Wow, let's see. The Pony Express just arrived with it. All righty.
This is legitimate mail right here.
Oh, yeah, it is. Miranda B. writes, Dear Doc, I took my 4-year-old to the dentist, and he has several cavities in his baby teeth. Is it worth treating them because baby teeth are going to fall out anyway, aren't they? Okay, actually, baby teeth are extremely important. Not only do they help the child to be able to chew their food properly, but they also hold the place, as you'll see the graphic on the screen, they hold the place for the permanent teeth that come in and eliminate a lot of future orthodontic problems. It's very, very important to keep their baby teeth intact as long as you can. There's 3 things that are very important concerning baby teeth I want to touch briefly on. One, studies have shown the bacteria that creates cavities or causes cavities to happen is transferred from the mother to the child. You know, things like sharing utensils, sharing food. And so very important for pregnant moms to get their oral health in check before the baby's born. Number 2 is never let your baby fall asleep with a bottle in their mouth. Okay, and this is a common practice. And what happens is when the baby falls asleep, they quit swallowing, that liquid lies on their teeth and it causes horrific tooth decay. We call it baby bottle syndrome. And the third thing is, we always tell the moms, when your first baby tooth appears on your child, every time you change a diaper, you take a washcloth or a gauze and you wipe the tooth. Change the diaper, wipe the tooth.
Frankly, I hope we have so many viewers with all these kids so that we can start getting these kids into proper oral health, because we see it every day, guys, in the work that St. Vincent de Paul does.
We do.
A lot of kids coming into our dental clinic, and we couldn't be more grateful for the folks you mentioned them earlier, like Delta Dental, and our donors like you, who are going to adopt our patient Fahim and make sure he's stable and healthy through this. We couldn't be more grateful. And Doc, how do you want to end this today?
Well, give me the answer, for crying out loud. I can't go a week for crying. I'm telling you, I don't think there is a right answer to this. I honestly, people out there, I got to tell you, I've thought about this. I know they've really screwed me up here. I mean, my mind is just in a mess. If I can hold it in my left hand, I darn well should be able to hold it in my right hand.
Look at me. Does anything look oddball and ridiculous about this man right here?
Can we wrap this thing up? My mind's blown right
Coop's gonna go take a nap and think about this.
I mean, it can't be a right answer.
Be true to your teeth.
And they won't be false to you.
See you next week.